I'm Monique Debose, and this is the Greatest Day Interviews with Nicole.
Your sound and your philosophy are almost divine.
Ah.
I call them divine. So where do you get your inspiration from?
Inspiration comes from that little person inside who has always wanted to be big and express herself. Inspiration comes from wanting to connect all the parts of myself that I feel like I compartmentalize just over life, wanting to bring them all back together and let them all have equal footing on a stage. Because I feel like so often we spend our time trying to be this tiny part of ourselves because that's what's acceptable, that's what's beautiful, that's what people want. And all the other parts of ourselves just get lost and get frustrated and angry. So honestly, my inspiration is reclaiming all the parts of myself.
Do you think that everyone has that, but people just hide it? Or they aren't in touch with it?
I would dare to say yes, absolutely, and then it varies in degree. Some people, if they were brought up in a space that really allowed for them to just be all of themselves, yes, probably more so well adjusted. But a lot of us walk around thinking that parts of ourselves are bad or wrong, and so we end up kind of like contorting ourselves, and the flow doesn't get to happen. So I'm all about, this is a very selfish purpose in life right now, which is really like reclaiming all the parts of myself, and I'm watching it actually serve other people, which is pretty cool.
Do you think your music can help people find that in themselves?
100%. Yes.
What kind of feelings are you trying to evoke in your music?
In this album?
Yeah.
I'm trying to evoke a deep passion where you cannot help yourself but show all of yourself because you are just so taken by somebody. I'm trying to show that part that really just loves the part of ourselves that we feel a little embarrassed about, but we know it's still really important and good. And then also that part of us that's so scared and vulnerable and afraid to let somebody actually love us and see us. I'm trying to evoke what that energy is like to really invite people to like step into that more. So I really do run the gamut in terms of emotions and what I want people to feel.
I know you're an LA native.
Yes.
And as an LA native and a citizen of the world, because I think LA natives are really citizens of the world.
That's true.
How do you think your music can enact positive change right now?
I think my music enacts positive change in two ways. Like on one level, it's taking people on an inward journey where they actually get permission to tap into parts of themselves that they've kind of hidden away for whatever reason. And I think whenever we get permission to like feel things we don't normally let ourselves feel, we're just more enlivened, we have more compassion, we're just a kinder person because we are getting our needs met by being seen by ourselves. And then on a whole nother level, certain songs in this project are specifically written to speak out against women not being able to have what they want and need. They're following their own desires. And then I have another song called Rally Call, which is about people who have been oppressed. And I speak specifically from my experience of being African American, that part of my culture, really calling people forward, saying you do not need anybody else's permission. You do not need to follow by rules that aren't your own, like your inherent own. So it's on many levels speaking to really like calling forward people. Yeah.
Do you listen to yourself?
You mean like for pleasure, or do I follow my own advice?
But for pleasure, do you drive in the car and listen?
I do.
I do.
Yes, both my boys yesterday, I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. Both of them yesterday on their own accord were humming one of the songs. And I was like, that's good. I've either instilled it really like deeply in them, or they just really like it. But I love my music.
Do you listen to your own advice? Second part.
I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said
You brought it up.
No, I know. I do my best. And yes, I do, because having compassion for oneself when one is not doing everything they want to be doing is vital and key. So yes, I do. Like the whole project was, I don't know if you know this, but the whole project stemmed from, I was given the diagnosis of a desmoid tumor in my abdominal wall. Do you know this?
No.
In late 2016. And so instead of doing traditional medicine, which just didn't feel right, like when I just checked in, I was like, no, I'm not going to be on pharmaceuticals for the rest of my life. No, I'm not going to just cut out half of my stomach, like the stomach wall. So I went in listening to my own inner wisdom, and I asked, like, what should I be doing? And I got information to speak with the tumor. So I started having conversations with this tumor. And what came out of it was, you are keeping yourself trapped. You are not expressing yourself. You are not sharing all of who you are. You are being quiet so you can protect other people and make other people feel safe. And so from that conversation, those many conversations, I wrote this album. I wrote my one-woman show, and I've been doing more coaching and helping people in the world really express themselves more.
Wow. So you're healing yourself.
I'm healing myself. There were so many things in writing the one-woman show and this album project where I was like, I'm not writing that. I'm sorry, I'm not writing that. No. And it was like, you're writing it. And I remember typing at certain points, for the show, but like typing, like bawling my eyes out, like, I can't even believe this. But I mean, it was so necessary and important. So this music means so much to me on many levels. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
And the tumor has continued to shrink.
That's wonderful.
Since the like actual expression, because I'm following.
So you're getting everything out while it's shrinking.
Yeah.
It's like you're wringing it out almost.
Yep. Clearing it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So you're kind of an ambassador of Greatest Days.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Right? So I was going to ask you, when did you decide to live your life like an ambassador of Greatest Days? And then how did it change you? But I think maybe
there's the answer.
There's the answer to that.
That's it.
What's one thing that you wish people, as an artist and really as a humanitarian, because I think you are one, would quit complaining about?
What's one thing I wish they would quit complaining about?
Yes.
I need to ask myself that question. That's an interesting question. I wish people would. That's a hard question to answer. It's very interesting. I don't know why it's so hard. Because I believe we're all divine beings having a human experience, and I believe that we all are doing our best. And I wish. It's a hard question. I'm like, come on, give me an answer. She needs an answer.
You don't have to answer it now.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
What do you wish people would complain more about?
I wish people would speak up more about what's real for them. I really do. Because I believe in my heart that if we felt like we were seen, we would be willing to see other people. Like we would just have it's like, oh, yeah, I am somebody who really like is scared of X, whatever it is. And so I can really understand why they could be scared of whatever their thing is. Like I know what it feels like to be terrified, and I let myself feel that. So to me, it's that I wish people would really allow themselves to express more of what's really going on and not just show what, we say Instagram culture these days, but it's been going on before Instagram. Like we always try to present our best foot forward.
Right.
And in doing that, there's maybe good intention, but in doing that, we lose what actually makes up humanity. We have this whole spectrum of feeling and sensation, and we don't let ourselves like live in it and honor it. So that.
And what is the one thing that gives you the most joy? I know it's hard to pick one.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's not. Okay, so there's two. Thank you. First is conversations with my kids. That to me is something that is so precious. And they're at an age now where they're so honest and they're so willing. And to me, I really want to keep fostering that in them. I think it's the age, but I also probably think it's a little bit also like how we're raising them. But those conversations are so beautiful to me. And then also just people having the freedom to actually be themselves. I think for so long I wasn't allowed that freedom, not out of, bad parenting or it's just, people are scared to make space for all of us. And so I love something that brings me so much joy is people really having the space to be themselves and feeling safe to be themselves. That's important. I don't even know what the question was now, but I'm like, that's important. That's what it is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.